Would it be wrong to say that Messi is the best passer in the world? This isn't about Cristiano. It's about Perez.
Double H. Double H. Double H. Double H. Double H. Double H.
Okay, you know what? I think we have to start with the good before we get to the bad. So for this La Liga review, we all know what the bad is, and it's real bad. So before we deal with that, I think the right thing to do is let's just deal with the good, which is, of course, what Barcelona were able to do there. I mean, I wasn't really able to watch the Atletico Sevilla game. Again, they screwed up. It was 1-0. Maybe I will view highlights on that and just say how that game went. Because, again, I was in the office during when that game was happening. But did definitely catch the Barcelona game. And a few things to comment upon on this. I think really the main things to comment upon, I think I want to comment on three things. Arthur, Dembele, and Coutinho. I think those are the three main things to, and maybe talk about Valverde and the front three. First of all, Arthur. Arthur is holding down his place in this team. I really believe, because again, for Arthur, because I think they were saying that he's modeling his game on Iniesta. Also, Iniesta, take down that pick, bro. I don't think you. But it's where they say he's modeling his game on Iniesta, but he plays more like Xavi. He definitely plays more like Xavi, and I think the role that he's playing and the way that he's playing is very much like Xavi. He is like the metronome. He's the heartbeat. He's forming the core of this team. So he's literally the guy where anytime the ball comes to him, he pops it off. He pops it off. Ball comes to him, pop off, pop off, pop off, pop off. Never hardly ever loses possession. Always keeps the ball rolling and is very good in very tight, difficult situations when he's got many opposing bodies around him. So I just think that that's going to be a key as for Barcelona as they embark on a potential treble, is how well Arthur does in that position and how well he does against far better opposition. Because, I mean, Getafe really pushed them. This was a very tough game for Barcelona, and they really had to dig in deep to get all 3 points, because Getafe played really well, and I really, really have to commend how well Getafe played. But I do think that for Arthur, people are sleeping on him. I think people are sleeping on Arthur and what this guy is doing. So I just thought he's been very quietly impressive. But I think as we now go into the more serious era of the season, and Valverde says, "No, I think this guy really is a starter," I do believe that he will pretty much hold down a place. Dembele, he's figuring out the team. When I first saw Dembele, he was losing the ball a lot of times. He was holding onto the ball a lot, and he was really trying to focus on his dribble and beating him. And I think maybe a bit too eager to impress. But because he was so talented, he was still being good, even if he wasn't really merging and being cohesive with what the team was about. But I think as of right now, especially in previous games, but in this game specifically, he's keeping the ball better. He's doing the one touch. He's much more aware of the runs that Messi, Alba, and Suarez are making, and it's been far more effective. But I think he's found the right balance between, okay, this is how this Barcelona team play, but this is how I play. And I think that's the key thing, because what would be wrong is if Dembele, which is pretty much what Neymar did, completely totally strip away all of the quality individual talent that he has just to be a slave for the Barcelona system. I think what the beauty about it is that you have to give and take. You do need to really respect what this team is about, and respect how they play, because it is a very clearly defined system and ethos that other people have to buy into. But at the same time, I think even Messi and other people have respect for the fact that, this kid is really talented. That yes, he does need to understand the protection of the ball, protection of possession, being very intricate and very sharp with the ball, not dwelling on the ball for too long. But we've also got to respect of what this guy can do if that doesn't work, and let's have some belief in him trying to actually take on guys and really individually run with the ball and carry the ball, which he does very, very well. And look, for Messi, it is what it is. Messi's passing is off the... Would it be wrong to say that Messi is the best passer in the world? Like, let's keep it all the way a stack. Let's put his goal scoring aside. Who is a better playmaker than Messi in the world right now? I mean, I'll leave it to you. Put it in the comments. Who is a better playmaker, i.e. creativity, difficult, incisive through balls from deep. Who is a better playmaker and creator than Messi? If you can name me one, put it in the comments below. Coutinho. I said this about Coutinho and people haven't been so happy about me. And I think me and Drift have been going back and forth about this. Coutinho is a really good player. He's a really good player. He's not tier 2. And he's overrated. Now, all because he's overrated doesn't mean he's crap. But I don't feel that he's as good as what people make him out to be. I was really, because again, I'm really bad with numbers. So I don't really remember figures. Did Barcelona pay 160 million for that? I mean, that's a 40 mil player. Like, what Coutinho has done is worth 40 mil, maybe 50. One city. I mean, like, that's worrying. That's just really worrying if they paid that much for a dude, man. Because, sorry, man, Coutinho is hype. Coutinho is hype. He's a really good player, but he isn't as good as what people thought there was. And I do feel sorry for him because I think he wanted to carry the tradition of, Romario, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, and be the next Neymar Brazilian in line. But it's just not going to work. And I think even Barcelona, and even in this game, I mean, my God, he's been benched by Dembele, a far younger player. And you brought him with, 5-6 minutes to go? It means that Valverde doesn't trust you. And again, I don't think that he's saving him for the Champions League as well. I think that front three is set in stone. And I think if Valverde can really sort out that front three, it's a possibility. Like, the front three is forming. Because remember, whether it was Henry, Edson, Messi, Pedro, David Villa, Messi, Neymar, Suarez. If you get the front three right, Barcelona are very dangerous. If you get the front three right, Barcelona are very dangerous. They should have probably won the treble as well back in 2011 also. Real Madrid. Or rather, Real Madrid. A complete and total cluster F. Disaster. It's like when the second goal went in for Real Sociedad, I almost turned to. I said, look, there's no point. I said, look, man, let's just watch the rest of this. 100% well done to Real Sociedad. They played an amazing game. Quality, really good on the ball. They soaked in the pressure. When the setting off happened, they were able to then put in the sucker punch. What's wrong with this Real Madrid team? And I think, if you're a Twitter feed and you don't know football, oh my gosh, they lost Cristiano. Cristiano is a one-man army. Because they lost Cristiano, this is why they're doing so badly. Oh, Modric, so-called Ballon d'Or person. Oh my gosh, no Cristiano, you can't win. Oh. That's if you're a moron. 100% they miss Cristiano. 100%. And if Cristiano was there, they would help them. Because Cristiano was he gave them an energy and an impetus and a sharpness in attack that they're sadly missing. Remind me again, how many La Liga titles did Cristiano win while he was at Real Madrid? How many years was he at Real Madrid? And in those years, how many La Liga titles did he win? So put it this way. I know they won't, but let's just, for argument's sake, if Real Madrid win the Champions League this season and come like 5th or 4th in La Liga, nothing's changed. Because yes, Cristiano helped to give them 4 Champions League titles. How many La Liga titles did he win with this Real Madrid team? I believe it was 2. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was 2 in about 9 years. So this isn't about Cristiano. It's about Perez. But forget that. Again, that's on an article that I wrote. But I just want to deal with this team in particular because the root issue is Perez. But when I look at this, Benzema is a brick. Dude's a brick. So that whole thing of him scoring all those goals in all those few games, it was a finesse. It was a finesse. He was all faking us. Isco looks like if he's completely interested. Like, he needs to leave. I think the guy's body language is awful. Like, it's like if this guy's like, look, I really don't care. And he's so out of it. It's just actually embarrassing to watch just how his body language just tells me, I really don't give a flipping F, man. Just look, get us getting the hell out of here. And what's worrying is that Vinicius Jr. was easily the best player. Lucas, you cannot win any trophy with Lucas Vazquez. Lucas Vazquez is a side player. He's a sideshow player. He's not a main player. If Lucas Vazquez is the main player, you've got real issues. You can't be Real Madrid, one of the biggest, most respected clubs in the world, and Lucas Vazquez is one of your bright sparks. That is a bad sign. Ramos and Varane, they're getting killed. They're getting killed because what's happening is they're having to chase games. And because Solari's tactics are in such desperation for them to chase games, he's leaving them exposed. Because yes, I still need to make them bricks, but I need to put on my football analytical hat and say, wait a minute. If your defenders and your coach has said, push all the way up, push right up, no cover, nobody covering you, we're chasing the game again, and we're going to take a flipping Casemiro, a flipping DM to give you even less protection, you're going to have 3-on-3s, you're going to have 2-on-2s. And when you're so desperate and you're being told to push up and everything, play an offside trap, play a highline, it's very difficult to defend. So as much as people will say, oh my gosh, Van Dijk, Godin, and Koulibaly are the best defenders in the world, I would love to see Van Dijk and Koulibaly in this situation that Real Madrid are in, where you've been forced to play such a high line and you're so ridiculously, insanely on an overload. That is extremely hard to position yourself and read the game from a central defensive point of view. So I just think that, yes, Varane and Thingy have definitely not, the defending has not been so good, but I think tactically they've been hung out to dry. So Solari is not really the man for the job. I think this is too big of a job for him. They need much more of an experienced coach. Conte might be a band-aid. I don't think Conte is a long-term solution. I think Conte is a band-aid. Because I think Conte will just end up being like what Benitez was. Yeah, it'll be good up to a point, but long-term now. They need an offensive attacking mastermind who can really breathe some confidence into this team, but they need personnel. You can't sell Cristiano and not get a replacement. Same thing of like, you can't sell Neymar and not get a replacement. You can't sell Messi and not get a replacement. You can't sell Hazard and not get a replacement. There, you don't sell your star player and you don't get any kind of replacement. When Tottenham sold Bale, they got like 4 or 5 players in return. But so Perez, I think you're so special that you can sell your main goal scorer and get nobody. Mariano, what's it called, Brahim, or whatever that dude they signed. But when you look at this team, even for Modric, Toni Kroos, I think he's done. I've never rated Toni Kroos. I've always thought he's a really decent midfielder. I've never really rated him that highly. I think for Modric, his legs are gone. His legs are gone. I think that World Cup, he gave everything. I think the World Cup and last season, he gave everything. So literally, Real Madrid needs to replace both of their central midfield. They need a new central midfield. They need a new striker. They need a flipping playmaker. And I think that from then, that's how you can really start doing things. So it's a team that is so badly in need of a revamp. And I think this match just showed a team that, man, if Vasquez and Vinicius Jr. are your best players on the pitch and they're outshining your veterans, that says it's flipping all. Thanks for watching the video. Now think about becoming a Football Hot patron by pledging an amount each month and then gain access to exclusive content only on the Football Hot patron page. Peace. Head over to the official site at halffootballhot.com or just click over here.